What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 101.
Say what? 101?
Exactly.
Wow.
Recorded on February 3rd, 2021. And we are waiting in a line for the first time in a long time. We have 62 days till the launch of The Bad Batch on Disney+. Of course, we're waiting in line. That intro that you guys just saw is our new and improved intro made by Scott. So thank you very much, Scott. That was awesome.
What's up, nerds? You're very welcome.
I am your host, Darth Moocher. I'm joined here with Scott. I just introduced him. What's up, Scott?
Yo, well-oiled machine again.
Joined
I think after 101 episodes, we'd have this.
Yeah, Darth Dad 77's here with us.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
We got Bootleg Joe.
Man, that intro was glorious.
Yeah, that's awesome. Of course, Mike's not here. There you go. The silence says it all. And Ernie is in Batu East. He took a little vacation. He's off-world now.
Well deserved. The dude works his butt off. So get out there, enjoy it, and the rest of us can't do squat.
Have a churro on us.
Yeah.
Not on us. I didn't send him with any money.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't hit the GoFundMe?
I'm horrible. Damn it.
He's got to bring back a lot of souvenirs anyway. So, but like Ernie's off-world, so we'll anticipate his return. Before we get into everything we are going to be talking about today, of course, we have some Patreons we want to give a shout out to. Brand new, Scott.
That is right. Yeah, you know what? I put out a call for patrons begging for help, and some of our friends of the show, they answered the call. Yeah. And I'd like to thank, first off, Brandon Epler. He is in the chat also, which is really great. He's
right on. Thank you, Brandon.
Yes, thank you.
We've got AJ Herrera, who is not in the chat. I'll have to give him some crap.
We'll still say thanks, AJ, because he probably listens if he's patroning us.
Absolutely. And then we've got Crystal from Rebels and Lions. She used to own QBC Comics in Victorville.
Hey, Crystal. We know Crystal. Nice, Crystal.
Yes, thank you very much. And
hey, wait. So we got paid to do a podcast?
We're getting paid to do the podcast. And it's
that makes us professional.
Yeah, and it's already paying off. That intro is awesome. Yep. And we might have some other cool things that are happening that Scott's been working on. Again, spicing it up a bit, trying to keep it a little bit fresh.
That's right. Spicing it up. Wait till the OnlyFans spinoff.
I feel like we just changed our underwear.
Yeah, for the first time in 4 years.
Wow.
The chat room is here with us, too. So we got a live chat, of course, everybody joining us. Everybody, welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Who's in
we've
there
got we've got Cliff in there. I don't know. You said you know who Cliff is. I don't know.
I know who that dude is.
All right, Cliff. We've got Cliff.
He's all right.
All right. He's okay. Yeah. Like I mentioned, we've got Brandon Epler in there. We've got Santo1414 in there as always. I've got Darth Omega, Bounty Hunter B&B. It was great having you on the show last week.
Yeah,
B&B. You gotta.
Darth Omega hasn't been in there before, has he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I don't ever look at
he's
the chat.
Man. He's like one of our OGs.
Well, I know that. Yeah. I just didn't realize he was in the chat.
Oh yeah. Actually, Darth Omega says, "Hello there."
Hello there,
General Kenobi.
That was a great John Lennon.
Well, thank you. I've been working on it. I'll keep going. I could talk like this the entire night if you like.
Please don't.
I'm good.
No.
Okay, we're good. All right. And we've got Bootleg Joe in there. Hey. Hi. All right. Oh, hey. How you doing, man? So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. So one thing that we want to do is get into stuff that's been launching and stuff. And there was a couple pre-orders.
Not for me.
I got one.
Oh.
And with that awesome graphic that you again just saw, thanks, Scott, pre-orders came in through Hasbro Pulse, I guess, right? So
yeah,
if anybody's collecting, Wrecker was announced. Because
looks like he's pretty cool. It looks like he's got an alternative head, and
at first I didn't know what the face was, and it was like an awesome face sculpt, right? He's smiling and stuff, and he's a deluxe figure, so he's going to be $30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? No, that's the only figure, right? But they did do the First Order Stormtrooper helmet. right?
Did a First Order Stormtrooper helmet? Yeah, they did I'm looking at it right now, the Captain Cardinal helmet that was a Target exclusive, which was the bright red. And whenever I bought it and took it out of the package, I'm like, oh, it's just a First Order Stormtrooper helmet. They've got to be releasing that sometime soon. And bam, here we go. Now it's on its way.
Yeah, I thought it was weird in the first place to have a Cardinal without a First Order helmet. I'm like, it's just going to be the same mold. Why didn't the Target exclusive made sense? You know?
Yeah, especially Galaxy's Edge exclusive like that.
I know you buy those, Scott. Are you going to get that?
I don't think so, because I've got the Cardinal helmet right next to the regular Stormtrooper helmet, and
so it would be odd if you didn't have the white Stormtrooper. Get it, Scott?
You have.
Let me put it this way: I don't have room for it on my helmet display.
Scott,
yes, sir.
Then you're done with collecting helmets forever?
No, because I've got Dent's helmet coming in. But
then get another damn shelf, Scott. Let's go. Turn your camera. Let's start designing your room right now.
All right. Hang on. No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, that was the pre-orders, right? That's the only thing that was announced, right? We just kind of want to touch on that. I know that, of course.
To be honest, we just really wanted to show the new graphic.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a couple of things to talk about.
Well, we're gonna get okay. So again, I just want to speed that segment along because we have another segment. We're going to get into the rumors here right now. And that was the HoloNet, which the rumors are shoved into those. But, Chris, the rumors, right? You got some written down, right? Some things that happened, maybe some replacements of some characters.
Oh yeah, well, dig it. Okay, so the rumor this week was, and I have my thoughts about it, is we know Cara Dune's gone out of Rangers of the New Republic, right? That's obviously been the news for a while. Right. But the replacement character is Hera Syndulla.
Okay.
No problem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what? That's like a no-brainer. I put that out right away. I'm like, well, I mean, all politics, BS, nonsense aside, Hera Syndulla, is greater than Cara Dune. Yes. Hera is greater than Cara, without a doubt. If I had a choice between the two, 10 times out of 10, I'm taking Hera in this show.
100%. Now, I know this is rumors. I know this is a rumor. But the rumors that are heating up and stuff, it's like I said, it's getting closer to confirm that Cara Dune was in the Rangers of the Republic because.
We're sure it was. That was the rumor before anything else happened that she was going to be part of this. We would get Bill Burr back. And by the way, Bill Burr in an interview said this week, right, defending her, talking about her, saying how I'm in that show too. I have to watch what I say, confirming to me that he's still in it and he's going to be in Rangers of the New Republic.
It makes sense.
But here's the thing. I don't think this was an announcement like they just decided to replace Cara. I think it's always been a plan to use Hera, and Hera was going to be the surprise drop in Rangers.
Yeah.
And now that the Cara Dune thing happened, they needed to chill everybody out. So their best thought was, this is me and the marketing team thinking, right?
Sure.
Is let's throw out Hera out there. Maybe that'll chill at least a portion of these people out. You know, that everybody stop freaking about Cara Dune. Because again, guys, I'm all for everybody in the Star Wars. I didn't hate Cara, but she wasn't carrying the show by any means.
Yeah. If you're going to lose one character, you're like, yeah, all right.
Let's throw out Hera Syndulla and boom, that'll shut half of them up.
So let's talk about what that could mean, though, what that could represent. I mean, Hera being in Rangers of the New Republic, General Syndulla,
right,
as you know, she was mentioned, would possibly be the leader of the Rangers. We're talking we could see the Ghost in live action. We're talking that we could see Chopper in live action.
Right.
This is also where you would get, I told you guys before that I was rereading the Alphabet Squadron, right?
Yes.
Because I think when I read the first book and I didn't want to read the second, I was in a bad place and it just wasn't jiving. Okay. But I'm rereading it and I'm digging it, and Hera plays a big part in there with them. So this opens up where she has a whole bunch of squads. So yeah, to your point, we can get this little ragtag, maybe not necessarily fighter pilots, right? But dealing with they're the ground assault, dealing with the Alphabet Squadron and things like that. Because Hera is too heavy in there to let that go at the same exact time.
And that can transition into the movie, the Rogue Squadron movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That because everything is continuity now, so that would be an amazing tie-in and might give us a timeline of where that movie is going to take place too. So, but
it's funny because the pilots that we saw in The Mandalorian, they are Rangers, I would assume. So they are part of a squadron. And you think about Rangers whenever you're, looking at our terrestrial world and you're looking at people riding horses or driving cars or going to wherever, right?
Right.
Here you're talking galactic Rangers. Right. They got to have starfighters. They got to go from planet to planet. So those pilots probably are those Rangers. Hera leading a squadron of Rangers. I mean,
yeah, it might not be anything we thought. Maybe Kara was just going to be their muscle anyway, and they had a whole thing going.
Oh, sure.
Now, 100%. I'm never going to say they didn't confirm Kara in it. Blah blah. That was the plan. We're sure it was the plan before because it was already out.
Again,
there, right?
This is in the rumor mill. Nothing official.
Right. Nothing ever official ever happened. Yeah, but I don't want to give them that out because I've given them outs before. I gave them an out on they didn't fire her, and there was no reason to do that, and they did fire her because they came out and said we fired her. So I'm not going to give it out anymore. It is what it is.
One thing real fast on that now, us as fans and us as continuity fans, and I'm sure everybody in Star Wars as fans is, the thing about recasting her or replacing her versus just getting rid of that character altogether. Where do you guys stand on that? Because I'm at just getting rid of her altogether, like that character. Don't even do it.
Just leave her. Don't recasting her would put fuel on that fire so hard. Just let her be.
Galaxy's big enough to where they don't have to hint at it again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Because it messes with a lot of things. Well, going back to Marvel when they recasted, War Machine, right? It's like, I get it, but at the same time, it throws everything off. So, but I don't put it past Disney to recast her either. It depends on how important the story is for the Rangers really to do it. Because, I mean, you can write her right out of it. You can write the character right out of it.
I don't think it's been written at all.
Exactly. So
you just leave her out. You just don't put her in.
It's funny because Robert Voss in here, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sorry, Robert. But he says they could play it as she got kicked out of the Rangers for letting Bill Burr go free.
Maybe. It could be a fleeting mention that, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you let that guy go?
Yeah. There's a bunch of memes
know what that guy does?
Oh, she died. Oh, she's dead. You
just never have to mention her. That's all.
Yeah, that's exactly. All right, cool. So another rumor in the Obi-Wan spinoff.
On the Andor spinoff.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The Obi-Wan and the Andor, right? And
I think that one was kind of. Was that a rumor with her? Okay, so rumor. The casting you're talking about, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna look at her name, Indira Varma, right? She was from Game of Thrones, the Viper's sister / wife / whatever they were doing, right?
It's Game of Thrones. It could be both.
So it fits. She's coming over with Din now, but she's gonna be in the Kenobi series. So. Are we thinking this is kind of flashbacks to Satine or current of love or no love at all? We're always trying to put some love or some kind of connection in there. It could just be the storekeep somewhere for all we know.
Where else is Obi-Wan's story going to go to if you don't have that love interest, right? I mean, we've seen him do almost everything. And in the Kenobi series with the flashbacks, again, the rumor is supposed to be flashback heavy. Anakin is in it. Hayden Christensen, Anakin, and we're hoping that it's going to be a bunch of flashbacks or forced projections or just all these things happening. It makes sense to me when you just said that Satine, right? It makes sense to me that at that time frame there'd be something that we can explore live action like that. Because again, where else are you going to go with Obi-Wan? Really, where else? Right. So that would be perfect.
The only thing I can think of when I'm thinking all these, because it seems like it's going to be flashback heavy, right? There's no need to have Hayden Beckett's Vader. It just didn't have to
put
be
anybody
there.
in that suit, right? Yeah.
Right. So if it's going to be this flashback heavy, I've got to. Now this is me being a nerd. I want now. It's kind of along the lines of the Lando thing that I want. I want older Lando, older Billy D talking about younger Lando, and then seeing I kind of want to see Obi-Wan talking to Qui-Gon's Force Ghost and going through things and learning lessons from him and going back to flashbacks the whole time and talking about Satine and talking about what he learned about Anakin and seeing Ahsoka now in a flashback because you'd be able to. There's so many cool things you can see in flashback form.
Yeah, man. As soon as we start hearing the rumors of Liam Neeson, that's when I was like, because we were already starting to hear those things, and it just makes too much sense, to really skip over that.
I think then I'd be one of those pissed off butthurt fanboys if I didn't get Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Well, it's a missed opportunity, right? I'm sure what we get is gonna be cool, and again, if it ties in other series and ties into movies or reinforces other things like that, but it's gonna be one of those things where we look back and go like, man, they really should have done that, especially paying attention to certain point of view book, when Liam Neeson's or Qui-Gon's ghost visited Obi-Wan in the book, what made such an impact on us reading it, going like, how perfect is that? Like, how perfect to still have that mentor.
Written by Claudia Gray.
Oh, Claudia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Satine's story, Satine and Obi-Wan, their story is one of those. I was thinking we were going to get a little hint at that in Master and Apprentice, and it never showed up. Maybe this is where we finally get that backstory of what happened to them whenever they were young. Because hell, all Ewan McGregor has to do is shave his beard, and he looks like he's 20. So
completely true. Completely true.
Yeah. Cliff brought up a mention about bringing in stuff from the Obi-Wan Legends stuff like that. I go, perfect opportunity. Absolutely. Like, that's what a lot of these shows should be doing, like looking at that source material, because it is source material, and bringing again,
and that one right there, the Kenobi book, the very last book was the last canon book, period. It got released during the transition. It was already scheduled for release, is why they didn't stop it, but it was written before Disney purchased, released after, but it's the last non-canon, it's the last Legends book. Sorry. Right. And it was a good story too. It could have easily been transitioned over. That's kind of the story they'd probably partially go with.
Yeah. And if it's not a flashback to Satine, 19 years alone on a desert planet is an awful long time. Maybe Obi-Wan, met himself somebody down at good old Mos Espa or something.
And he was in the book. Sure. That's what's going on in that story. So it's been I haven't read that since it came out, because at that point it became non-canon. I was oh, damn, that sucks.
Do you even have it? Like, I don't even have that yet.
I never bought it.
Yeah. I don't have the hard copy.
Got it.
I have it on my my playlist, audio. But I haven't since 2014.
Yeah, I forgot that book even existed, honestly, because again, it was that transition period.
It was right there, and I'm sure it suffered for it too.
Yeah,
it's right there with Darth Plagueis, because wasn't Darth Plagueis one of those
before that?
Oh, I thought it was well before.
I thought that was
well before.
Yeah, I think it came out in 2014.
Oh,
so right there. Yeah.
And
so
Disney took
wild
over
though. Yeah, so good thing we got that. I mean, again, cool stories to have as legacy stories, right? That they can pull from and bring them in.
I'm with it, man. That's
the other one. Moving him. Okay, the big rumor though with Kenobi was that he was going to appear in Andor.
Right.
So
right.
No, just having the Disney's all cross over, which is perfect for me. I mean, I'd love that. It might be hard to explain though. Do you think a casual could handle maybe different time frames, seeing different people in all these different shows and be able to?
Doesn't necessarily have to be a different time frame. I mean, because Andor,
you're right,
he was in the fight when he was 6 years old, and that was the beginning of the Empire. So there's no reason they couldn't somehow cross paths.
Yeah, I wonder. Okay, if they're doing so, do they both show up in some kind of Andor flashback? Like when Andor is 6, getting in the fight, and this is when Obi-Wan's still a Jedi. Because I'm trying to figure out when Obi-Wan. Yeah, it would fit because Andor has got to be 30 years old by that point, right? So he would have been like 11. Right. So the Jedi would have still been fighting in the Clone Wars,
right?
When he was younger. So I mean, there's every bit of a possibility that Obi-Wan was helping with a rebellion somewhere, and they see him in a flashback.
Cool. Hell, could you imagine Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting droids on Andor's home world to try and save him, and
in Clone Wars gear, Clone Wars armor,
100%.
One episode.
And yes, every casual will know that because it puts it in that time frame.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, that takes place in that.
And I know that outfit will work because they used it on Michael Bihn's character in the Jedi. They used Anakin's just about perfectly, so we know the uniform the outfit will look all right.
Adam Spite, yes, 2012. He's corrected as Plagueis came out in 2012.
Thank you.
It was a couple years before,
but yeah, I was gonna lose my mind, but still, that's still pretty close to the transition.
Yeah, no, that's exciting, man. I know there are rumors and all that stuff, but it's still so exciting because.
Well, the other thing, right, is if it's not a flashback, it would have to be something like he could only talk to Bail, right? You would never see him talking to Andor, so it might just be like a really quick behind the thing, and he would never know who he was. Only we would. It would be a wink, wink, nod, nod. Or he helps Andor and is like a spy.
Well,
like he can't tell him he's a Jedi. You know they do that in Clone Wars all the time, where they have to hide their powers, or Ahsoka, that kind of thing. He's just with them, but he has to hide who he is, and he does one of those kind of things and helps out. That would be kind of cool too.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
B&B says that she hopes the show is kind of dark, like they're doing some shady stuff. And I think that's exactly what this is. This is a spy thriller. This is James Bond in space kind of,
With Rogue One introducing Cassian Andor, and he, kills that guy in the streets because that was such a great moment for them to include it in that movie, to get the rebellion into that dark place where it's a all bets are off kind of stuff. We have to survive at all costs. Right. And that all costs is so powerful at that moment. It's not just like sit back and hope, right? We've been hearing that in the books and all that stuff. So that I'm hoping that they take a note from John Knoll, who, helped bring that project to life, and listen to the guy and say it needs to go into darker places like that. Like it really does need to.
They were looked at almost like they were terrorists, right?
Yeah. Well, they absolutely were terrorists in the Empire's mind, and in probably a lot of the
in a legal sense, they are.
Yes.
In the legal sense, they are terrorists.
Right. So
they are up against a legitimate. It may be corrupt and horrible, but it is a legitimate government. So
at first voted in and just taken from there, right? He did it all within the rules, so it's
No, it's cool, and again, they have to take a note from that for at least in the Cassian Andor series.
I agree. I think that's a cool place to go dark and do things, and can't do it in all of them, but you need a little bit of everything everywhere, right? Some of the books are dark, some of the comics are dark.
Mm-hmm. The comics, are really
some
dark.
of the
awesome,
parts of the movies are dark.
Exactly. No, dude, I'm with it.
I like the dark.
In fact, I like the rumor mills that are heating up and stuff. Of course, they getting into casting rumors, which in the past or season 2 of Mandalorian, they've almost all came true. So I'm cool with the rumors if all these are taking place. Like if these all came true, let's do it, man. I'm there. I'm in line.
Me too.
Already,
and connect them all. I can't connect to everything.
Yeah.
Even if
they are anyway, but I like them.
Even if it doesn't come true, it's so much fun just to sit back and talk with everybody about it. Just to speculate and completely set ourselves up for utter disappointment. It's
everything besides Heir to the Empire and Thrawn has been completely wrong, but we're gonna nail that one.
To know that they are gonna be all interconnected in the grand scheme of the big event, right? They mentioned that whole something happening. We can do that with everything. So any casting on any show, we can sit there and point it and go, how does it affect the entire timeline, not just that show?
Except for Obi-Wan and Andor pre A New Hope. So they're going to be kind of out of that. Everything else is going to be post.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it can't have hints.
Oh, it'll have hints, right? Because like Bad Batch is going to have Fennec in it. And I've already told you that Grogu's getting saved by the Bad Batch. So that's obviously confirmed.
Obviously.
I hope that happens. I really do.
Because we're talking about if the time span of Obi-Wan, Thrawn is still around. You could actually see a live action Thrawn there against Andor.
Because he knew Anakin, at least for the moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he teamed up with Darth Vader.
Yeah. So many good things can happen.
I know, man.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting to hear about somebody that sounds like Voss. I want to Voss.
So we'll keep our ears to the ground. Hopefully we'll get more as time passes. Of course, when the Bad Batch comes in 62 days, then we'll get some more information. I'm hoping so. Let's get into some line talk. How about that, guys? What do you say?
It sounds super.
All right. All right, so in our chat, it was coming up on like we were kind of like toying with the notions of like favorite duels and stuff, right? Like favorite Star Wars.
We were trying
duels.
to figure out a top something.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. Well, we've had this discussion for a long time, right? And a lot of times the same thing comes up. So Chris, take this segment away. How did we come up with the segment? And
here, let me put up visuals for you to help you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Visuals. I like visuals.
Let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen.
Go ahead.
And mine again are very remedial compared to what you will see later. Screw
I'm
you.
a graphic designer. I'm sorry.
Screw you, Scott. And then tell me if you can see it on the tube. Whoops. Go back. Okay. So oh no, I totally hosed up.
Well-oiled machine.
Shut up.
All of us.
What is this?
Hold on, I'm escaping. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Escape.
From start. Here we go. Top 3 Star Wars duels. We can pull from any Star Wars content. Okay.
Yes.
So this can be legends. This can be canon. This can be books, comics, video games, whatever you want it to be.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Yep. You can. Darth Maul is off the table. That's the rule.
Twist.
Because the twist is if you put Darth Maul on the table, this is what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody gives you these 3 fights, 3 of these fights, and an honorable mention.
100%.
Yeah. So.
100%.
And if we want to talk about these for 3 seconds, I'm cool with that because Duel of the Fates is probably one of the greatest things ever.
Well,
right?
Again, Darth Maul is a duelist, and everything that he's in is golden. Everything he's in gold, so it's hard pressed not to include a Darth Maul saber.
Watch this. Okay, Duel of the Fates. Did he win? Nope.
Nope, he did not.
Did he win that fight? Did he win that fight with Sidious?
No, he did not. In fact, he got his brother killed.
Did he win that fight with Ahsoka?
He's so skilled, but he's the biggest loser.
You're right.
And did he win that fight with Obi-Wan?
Nope. Wow.
Oh, let's pick the greatest fighter in all of the galaxy that loses every single awesome fight he's in.
Every time.
Good point. I mean,
he did beat Kanan.
Oh, good for him. The guy who hadn't trained in 19 years, too.
That's right.
And yeah, whatever. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Darth Maul is awesome. He's awesome to watch, and he is in all the best fights. He just can't close the deal.
Right. He can't close the deal.
Here's my top 3. The Duel on Tython. I am starting out in Legends in books.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
And the reason I do that is, again, I try and tell everybody to read the books. Okay. And I probably could have done something from canon, but honestly, when you go through the audiobooks the way I do, and sometimes you get grabbed, it's the fights that happen in the Darth Bane trilogy that really grab you. And the Duel on Tython, where Darth Bane and Darth Zana take on Valentine, Farfalla, and 4 other Jedi at once, and you get to see battle meditation. Here, I say see, right? When you're either reading it or listening to it, you're getting the battle meditation going. You're getting beheadings, serious force lightning getting thrown to people. You can feel they're about to lose and about to win. Their Ithorian Jedi is battle meditating to make the Jedi stronger because they can't beat Bane because he's got his Orbalisk armor and all. Which, by the way, I hate the look when it's drawn. I do.
It's terrible.
It's horrendous. But I also didn't like the look of him in Clone Wars either. There's the in between is make him look like him.
Yeah,
something else. I don't know, but I hate this look. But this battle is awesome, and like I told you, Darth Bane and Darth Zana taking out the 5 of these Jedi are pretty awesome. And this whole book, I mean, really,
it's a great book.
Cool.
You know, I mean, I the whole Farfalla thing just makes me think of pasta, but otherwise it's.
See, Farfalla, they've been inclusive for years, and nobody gave him credit. I'm just saying, because Farfalla was pretty flashy. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
But Farfalla was also that's the thing, is you got a really cool character, and they don't care in Darth Bane books, right? I like General Hoth. He bit it in the first one. You got Farfalla, who's out here fighting for everybody and really trying to get everything fixed and not get revenge, but get rid of the Dark Lord that freaking killed, his friends. And to get him just beheaded in this fight right here. And also the fight that helped Darth Bane figure out how to get the Orbalisk off of him, right? With the lightning getting shot back on him. Just a big epic fight inside of a book. And one of those things where I think everybody needs to get, it's beyond the movies, beyond the shows, beyond everything. You get to the books, you got more stuff in there too.
Yep.
So anyway, sorry, I'm done preaching. Now here's the one that you guys all knew I was going to do.
Yeah.
Right?
And is it number 1?
No.
What?
It's not number 1. No, number 1's a twist. That's the trick. See, I don't just give you what you think.
Tricksy.
Right. Confrontation with Count Dooku. All right, Yoda and Count Dooku or Darth Tyrannus in Attack of the Clones.
Right.
Obviously, you know how I feel about this.
Yes, we do.
Yoda shows every power he needs to show. He's using the dark side. He's battling with the Force. And the middle right there, guys. Come on, for the visuals. He whips out the lightsaber with the Force. Yeah. And then he flips around and he's little. He's tiny and he's fighting his old apprentice. You're really not going to get any cooler moment as far as, oh shit, that just happened.
Yes.
Right? And that's what that was. And that's why that's cool. It's more, remember how we gauge these? You can do them either like I did on the other one, how you feel in a book, because the books are special to me. And that's kind of one of those things, right? Yeah. This one, just how you feel the first time you got it. Or this next one that I'll go, my number 1, and it's kind of Asajj versus Obi-Wan and Anakin whenever the hell ever they want to fight.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We give a lot of credit to Darth Maul for being a great duelist. Asajj can hold her own.
She can.
she's not losing these battles. She's deciding to leave most of the time.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, okay, I'm out. But the reason I love Asajj in here, because not only is her character very well fleshed out between this series and Dark Disciple, she's also an awesome fighter. She can do with the dual sabers or a single blade or a double blade.
Right.
She holds her own against these two all the time, and her banter is top notch.
Her banter is amazing. Yes.
And that's what makes it. Every single time they fight, the banter is killing it. Oh dear, I thought you were going to be late. Oh darling, how would I ever keep you waiting?
That's why
blah,
I
blah.
so want a live action Asajj.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, if only that could have happened, right? Isn't that what Dooku became? Isn't that what it was? Or no, she was Maul, huh?
She was supposed to be Darth Maul. Yes.
Yeah,
that was
Maul.
100%. Yeah.
But everything, even like if you look at the bottom left of that screen, I love that where she was giving up and they walked up to her and she hit the ground and made it all fall away. It's like, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the whole time they're always playing a game right until she's about to lose and she's some kind of weird cartoon character that disappears. Like, haha, next time.
Yeah, she was my favorite character to come out of the Clone Wars.
Oh, Ahsoka and her. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And Hondo,
favorite villain.
Hondo too.
But favorite villain then, I'll just
I got a hero, a villain, and a scoundrel came out of there that I absolutely love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now my honorable mentions, and I don't know, you guys won't grab these, so I don't think I'm stealing any thunder.
Okay.
Maybe.
Din versus Gideon.
Oh, see,
That
I thought
almost
about
got
that
on there.
one, dude. I
Right.
thought about that one because going back and I was like, that was actually pretty amazing. Like, I really did think hard about that one. Yeah.
It hadn't earned that spot yet, but it's really, really good. Ahsoka versus Vader.
Yeah.
Right. In Twilight the Apprentice.
Of course.
And just because it was fun, Cad Bane wielding it against Obi-Wan and Voss.
Nice.
And it was only for 2 seconds, one swing, and he lost it. But
right.
that's just fun stuff just for a good honorable mention.
That's cool, man. I like that. Yeah, that was almost on my list right there. That, I have a weird reason, but I'll wait till third to go. I'll let Joey go next. But those are cool, man. I didn't even think about going to the books because the books are so imagination heavy that you put your own fight into it.
That's the reason I picked that one over anything in canon, because I really haven't had that yet because of the time frames we're in.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to get a whole lot, but don't get me wrong. We had some good fights in Dark Disciple. Right. There was a couple, they won against Dooku and Asajj and Voss. But besides that, you're not going to get a whole lot of lightsaber duels quite yet in this time frame.
Right.
Cliff brought up that he would like to see Karen Gillan as Ventress, and I gotta say, 110%, that would be amazing.
Yeah, man. Where I'm like, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything that she would appear in, right? Is it?
It sucks because she's dead.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it'd be a pre-thing, so
that's way back. Okay, you could totally get a flashback. You could, if we're talking about getting a flashback to Ahsoka, and
you're right.
Anakin. Anyway, they're alive at the same time.
Yep.
She
just died towards the end of the Clone Wars, right? I mean, that was
fairly
right
close,
there at the very near the end.
Right. So Andor, she could be in.
No. Oh yeah, I guess that would be pushing it though, wouldn't it? That would have to be a Kenobi flashback, really.
A Kenobi. That's what I have to say.
Or like you said with Andor, or we get one of those live action opening sequences. Right. You see battle droids on one side, clones on the other. Freaking Asajj jump up on one side, and then Obi-Wan and Anakin, they start bantering.
Wouldn't you think that would put everything perspective moving forward? It's just the time frame. It's like boom. And then here's dude.
Okay, now if that doesn't happen, they really need to watch the show more, because that was the idea that makes everything pop.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, cool. That was
so cool. That's it. It's written. Confirmed.
Joey, let's go with you next.
All right. My list is pretty casual. I didn't go like, comics or even the cartoons. But I did pick a duel from each of the trilogies. So my number 3 right now would be Rey and Kylo versus the Praetorian Guards.
Right.
In The Last Jedi. Probably one of the only things I like in the movie.
It's more of a saber battle than a duel, but
well, yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
There's lightsabers in it.
Number 2, Han versus Tauntaun.
Because honestly, Joey, that was a I
didn't even think about that one. So number 2 would be Anakin versus Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith. And I don't care if it was a Dancing with the Stars type thing.
It was awesome.
But
I don't care what Scott said.
it was awesome. It's still awesome to me. Even when Scott and Mike just totally ruined it for me.
Right.
They look like they're dancing.
My goodness. Yeah. No. So that was your number 2?
That was number 2.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't make it on my list because honestly, if I'm watching it, I'm gonna watch. If I'm watching any movie, I'm gonna watch that fight. I'm gonna go to Revenge of the Sith and I'm gonna watch that fight.
Right,
it really is it's the ultimate Star Wars fight because it's Obi-Wan and Anakin's. It's their fight. It's the one that makes Vader. You know what I mean? So
it's the most important fight in all of Star Wars.
Exactly. It's like that's the fight. Yeah. So it deserves to be everybody's number 1. Honestly, it probably should have been off the table because it should have been all of our number 1 to even make my list.
Right.
My list is flawed.
Disagree. I disagree with it being the most important.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
No, I'm not out of my mind. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay. Ahsoka Maul.
You'll see. When I get to my list, you'll see.
Okay. We'll reserve.
And my number 1, because it's on my favorite movie, is Luke versus Vader in Empire Strikes Back.
Sure.
Nice.
Sure.
Because there was a lot of emotion in that battle. It revealed a big thing, and to me, some people might disagree, but to me, Vader showed a lot of like viciousness in that fight. Like he showed it almost. He showed mercy a little bit because it was Luke, but at the same time, he was just thrashing him.
Yeah.
B&B said that her favorite is Anakin versus the younglings.
Oh again, man, she just ruined my honorable mentions.
Is that really a duel?
I got a couple honorable mentions if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, what was that last week? So get back to Vader Luke. That's the most iconic scene in all of Star Wars, I think. Right? That maybe Luke looking at his the two sons. Right. But I think the Vader reaching out for Luke right there and asking him to join him is probably one of the most iconic moments movies
in cinema history.
Yeah, exactly. So another great choice. I don't think he was vicious there though. I think that's one of those times where we look at it and you're like, oh man, this kid is fighting. I think he should have smashed Luke. Could have smashed Luke.
He definitely was, but he was there not to kill him though. He was there point. Yeah,
and he was toying with him. He was even playing around when Luke was trying to go one-handed and Vader's off out of here. Like he should have beheaded him right there.
Let me throw this refrigerator at you.
Yeah, let me just force choke you for a minute and spank you, son, and let's go back and tell Paps we're taking him out.
Exactly.
He could have done all that.
No,
I think he.
Yeah, Cliff in the chat said the going outside of canon or anything is that fan made Obi-Wan Vader duel that was on YouTube of the New Hope duel.
Oh, the remake of New Hope. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
I like it.
It was great. I have my own theories of why that doesn't really work in my Obi-Wan canon, because I just think there was he wasn't there to kill Vader. He was there. Obi-Wan had a specific thing he was wanting to do there, like to give up, to go to the Force and help Luke, and that was his destiny, not to battle Vader in that way. But I will not.
He'd been preparing for this next level.
Correct.
Right. That's what we're going to see in Obi-Wan. That's what we're going to see in Kenobi is him preparing for this next level, knowing that it's going to come. Although, in certain point of view, in Master and Apprentice, right? Yeah. That piece, he's like when Obi-Wan's all, one day, blah blah blah. I'm not going to do the voice. And Qui-Gon's like,
day.
If there you go. And Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon tells him, well, if you only knew how soon it was, knowing that it's happening later, it's coming up. I'll see you in a minute, type of thing.
Yeah. And that being said, that fan-made film was fantastic, like really, really, really well. So
yeah, that one was solid.
All right.
It wasn't one of those that stopped 500 lasers just to be cool.
Yeah, right.
It was actually a legit ad.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions are Luke versus the Seeker droid when he was training.
Yeah.
A little spear. Obi-Wan versus Ponda Bada.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah.
And Anakin versus the younglings.
Yeah, that was.
Then I figured out none of them were duels, so we went with something else.
But so I'll go next because Scott we have a whole process.
It's not that.
Yeah, it might take a bandwidth.
Right.
We're not sure if the show will go on.
It might. Yeah,
but
might freeze anything.
Yeah, in my headspace, I'm with Joey where it came. It's not generic at all, Joey. What you said, like your list was generic. It was more heart. It was more emotional ties, and with me with Star Wars, it's more emotional than anything, right? So of course I'm going with the iconic Star Wars duels, and And my number 3 is the Obi-Wan Anakin episode 3, the second Duel of Fates, because I do think, and I want to hear Scott's opinion on it too when he gets to his, but I think it is probably the most important duel in the history of duels, because either way it swung, the story. It was the pivotal moment. This wasn't just a match of muscle or a match of skill. It was whoever was going to win was going to determine the next path. And like, even though Obi-Wan won, Anakin still brought on the Empire. So but if Obi-Wan had died right there, it would have been pretty much all over forever. It was like too meaningful of a fight.
What if Obi-Wan accidentally killed him?
Yeah, well, I mean, just saying, it's a pivotal fight that just had to go the way it went. It really had to. A lot of the other ones really didn't. I mean, they really, really did.
I hear what you're saying, but I have a strong argument as to why I disagree.
I'm
and it's not that I disagree because I dislike the fight. That's not it at all.
I understand.
I agree. I feel that is a pivotal moment in Star Wars.
Okay.
However, I have an alternative.
Okay.
I have an alternative.
I can't wait to argue this because I really can't think of a moment, because I think the whole saga really revolves around the fall of Anakin.
Yeah,
and I really feel like that is the freaking fall of Anakin.
It is
literally he fell. He had no legs.
Literally.
He fell.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
He hit the ground.
Yeah,
stomach first.
Crash and burn. In on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Done.
And
so I can't wait to hear Scott just so I can bash him.
Exactly. So and my number 2 is this might get a little slack from some people that I know that are in chat, but it doesn't matter. Of course, Luke versus Kylo in The Last Jedi, and it's not really a duel, but it is close enough of a duel.
So they both had sabers.
Well,
out.
I mean, it is exactly. It was a duel between the both of them, and they both had sabers. That was required.
It was the way I see it, if the saber was ignited, it was a duel.
Yeah, Darth Maul wasn't in it. Okay, so
other than Luke versus Rey with his sticks, that is the only actual duel in The Last Jedi.
Right. Exactly. But again, such an emotional point, and
Finn and Kylo.
No, that was
in The Last Jedi.
I thought you meant in the sequels. I was thinking the sequels.
No.
How many are there?
The Rise of Skywalker. There's like 72 different duels in The Rise of Skywalker.
Exactly.
Kinda.
But yeah, so I mean that was again, I'm all about pivotal moments and meaningful and heartfelt and stuff. And again, I like Luke's arc, and I love the way he went out and he went to the Force Ghost. Become one with the Force, and the way he did it is to redeem himself. He wasn't there to redeem Kylo; he's there to redeem himself in that moment too, which he did.
Both. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
save his friends. It wasn't even. I don't want to say he was trying to redeem himself because that feels selfish, and that would take him away. Right?
Yeah.
Just trying to save his friends. I hope he wasn't thinking internally like, okay, this will make me better. It's just I've got to save my friends. I screwed up. Maybe even more.
Right. Well, he was
hating himself for it, if anything.
He was there to admit his mistakes and to tell Kylo that he forgives Kylo, like he forgives him.
I'm sorry, Michael Horlings just said duel Hayden Christensen versus acting class.
Oh
wow!
I don't know if again.
Do we mute chat people?
I can put him out of there.
Yeah. Be nice.
I think Hayden deserved an Oscar.
And
fearing the hate in his eyes.
Can we remove Chris from the?
My number 1 should become to no surprise to anybody, and any Star Wars fan. It should be on everybody's list. Is of course Luke versus Vader: Return of the Jedi.
And in the Newlywed Game, if you can see it, I would have won. That is Luke versus Vader. ROTJ. I knew Marcos off the bat. Look at that.
Of course, because I preach that all the time as the most one of the if not the most.
Do me a favor, Marco. Say what you were about to say, and then that is my point. That is the most iconic.
The most iconic.
That is the most important duel. It's not the fall of Vader. It's the redemption of Vader and saving the galaxy.
Okay.
We don't need to see Scott's now then.
No, because it's not my number 1.
Yeah, it's not his number 1. But the point was the most to me, I'm all about what is this duel doing right now? What is this supposed to mean and all that stuff?
But I disagree. I disagree. That's the most important though. I mean, go ahead. Go finish your thought. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you yet.
I was going to say it's the most emotional saber battle, father versus son, to the death. Okay, Vader was going to kill Luke. This was not the Return of the Empire Strikes Back where he's trying to turn Luke. He wasn't going to turn. He was going to kill him, and Vader knew it was either him or me. because the Emperor was gonna pick one of us anyway. So like even if Luke threw away his saber and joined the Emperor, Vader would have gotten electrocuted instead of Luke that right then. You know what I mean? So he knew that was life or death. And then the whole turn, and then him realizing that good. It was just such like that is like the most emotional moment in Star Wars in the history of Star Wars. I think that fight, and
I agree that it's probably the most. I don't know if it's the most emotional. No, the reason I say the other one is still the most important.
It's the most important
is because it sets the whole thing up, right? Luke's ends it. Luke and Vader ends it. Obi-Wan and Anakin, or Obi-Wan and Vader start it. I just feel like that's the one that destroys the Jedi.
What you had said though, Chris, is you had said that the whole thing has been about the fall of Anakin Skywalker, but it's not. It's the fall and the redemption of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, the rise, fall, and redemption. That's what it's always been, right? That's always the prequels. The rise, fall, and redemption of Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
But the fall, I think, is what makes Star Wars. Because without the fall, you don't have Star Wars.
The fall builds it. The fall makes it, but it's the redemption, the emotional heart, the bringing him back. I just think that. And this is all our opinions. In my opinion,
And remember, everything hits people different, right? And that's. But I think think back before the prequels existed, that scene was still the most important scene before it existed.
Right.
We knew what was going to happen. Oh, Vader became Vader because Obi-Wan kicked him into a volcano. That's what we want to see. That's the most important thing. We knew it then that it was the most important. Then we got it. So
I'll rephrase this, Scott. I'll say Vader versus Luke, Return of Jedi is Star Wars. Period. Period. It's the epitome of Star Wars. But the most important one, like I would agree with Chris and everything, the important that kicks off everything. That's the moment that time splits is Vader versus Obi-Wan. And that's why, the wording is wrong, but wrong or different from each other. But I think our idea of where we're coming from is correct.
Yeah, because that starts the whole Age of Empire.
Yeah,
it's all day one. That's Empire Day.
Yeah,
and it's just
right. But anyway, I mean, again, agree to disagree. I mean, we all view it the same or different.
I like that me and Scott always battle on this kind of crap. It's like, no.
I could take
away
the
have
dance.
A beer and have a good time.
I could take away the dance, and again, what those three because it's visual to me, and I'm a visual person. I love the books and everything. I love the comics and stuff, but these are the ones that if I had to take something away and go home into my cave and forget the humanity, those are the three things I would take away.
And I don't see a problem with. I don't see it as dancing with those two. I see it as they've been together so long that they've trained together.
Brother versus brother.
They're doing the moves they've practiced, and it's like, hey, one of them's going to try and sneak one in, and they do.
Know each
and it's like
moves.
A chess game, dude.
And they even make the same move to try and trick each other. I see it that they're so close in skill and thought that they just keep doing that. That's it.
No, it's cool.
Well, a perfect example of that would like that one part when they're switching at each other, and then all of a sudden at the same time they stop and try and force it.
It's their mirror image. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I don't get me wrong, I see it, but I didn't take it that way. I guess headcanon it, some things helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Scott, you're going to end our show this way. So with that,
you don't have an honorable mention?
You know what? No, I don't.
All right. No.
Yeah, he does. He just don't want to say it. Say it.
No, I don't have an honor, but I mean, a lot of the ones that you guys picked, probably what I would pick too. Especially, I think Mando. I'll put Mando and Gideon. That one was to me still fresh in my mind. It's still amazing to this day. So.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. Good sound. Everything in that awesome fight. It was meaningful because of what it did too. Cool. There's a lot of good fights.
Yeah. This thing can go on forever, but yeah. Scott, finish us off here, man.
You can switch this ridiculous picture right here.
Here we go. Are you ready for your number 3?
This is what happens when you give an idiot with design skills, Photoshop and a picture of himself in front of the Millennium Falcon. This is what you get.
This is awesome.
So yeah, number 3.
Boom.
Number 3. For me, I went a different route on this because I always go a different route. I looked at for this one, like the uniqueness of the battle, the emotion behind the battle.
Yeah.
And for me, all in all, Rebels is one of the best things.
What fight is it? I can't
see
it.
It's Kanan
You
versus
can't
the
see
Grand
it. My number
Inquisitor.
3 is.
Look, we're audio too.
That's
I
right.
think he was getting there. But
I apologize. Kanan versus. I was building up to it. Kanan versus the Grand Inquisitor in the season 1 finale of Rebels, and just. You've got Ezra running at the Inquisitor knocking him off throwing his saber and scarring him and knocking him off the platform. And then immediately Kanan thinks he's dead. Yeah. And I've got the lines written down here where Kanan says, that was a mistake. And the Inquisitor says, why? Because you have no one left to die for you? And he goes, no, because I have nothing left to fear. Right. And unleashes holy hell on the Inquisitor. And the way he utilized Ezra's blaster saber at the same time, igniting it, taking a swish, extinguishing it, shoot, and just the most unique lightsaber battle I can possibly think of. It's just cool. So, awesome. So that's my number 3. It was almost my number 1, but then I remembered a different one. So my number 2.
You must have remembered 2 different ones.
Anyway, number 2.
I take it from 1 to 3.
Number 2.
It's up.
The number 1 is a really good one. Number 2 is Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader.
Yay.
And for all of the reasons we've already discussed, I think it is still, in my opinion, we may disagree. It is the one for me that means the most in the sequels versus the original.
Well, this
trilogy.
is the one that means the most to me too. That's why it's my number 1. Absolutely, it's amazing. I mean,
absolutely,
this is why I live.
I just remember, I was 9 years old when Return of the Jedi came out, and going into it, I had the program, and I'm looking at this image of Luke Skywalker barreling down with his lightsaber onto Darth Vader, and I'm thinking, oh my God, Luke is turning bad.
Right.
Luke is attacking. He's not supposed to attack.
Right.
My little 9-year-old mind was going insane with this movie I was about to see. And for me, just the emotion behind it and the buildup and the way Vader removed his helmet and, essentially in his own way saying, I love you, son. Thank you for saving me. Tell your sister.
Dude, it is Star Wars, man. It's all of it right there. That's why Return of the Jedi is so high on my list of movie. I cannot put it past my top 3. I can't. It means too much, Yeah.
Now, before you switch to my number 1, before you switch, a little bit of background here. The Clone Wars. It introduced us to one little Miss Ahsoka Tano. And the most annoying character at the beginning of the Clone Wars. Right. She drove me crazy. And her, with Sky Guy and him, Anakin coming at her with snips and all that. I never in a million years would have thought that those 2 characters. Number 1, I wasn't an Anakin fan to begin with. But then you give him a Padawan that is like equally as irritating. And then as the series went on, we all know that Ahsoka grew into be just about one of the coolest Jedi characters out there. So my number 1, if you would please, is Ahsoka versus Darth Vader in the season 2 finale of Rebels. Because you've got this giant buildup of here comes Ahsoka. We know who's behind the helmet. She doesn't know who's behind the helmet. Right. She knows. She's got a feeling it might be a Jedi. She doesn't know for sure. And then, she takes that.
She knows it's Anakin. She just needs to prove it. She knows it's Anakin.
Right.
She takes that swipe of her lightsaber and breaks away part of the helmet, and she sees his eye.
Yeah.
And the way Filoni, number 1, it's one of the most cinematic duels ever in animation. And the way it's so beautifully filmed and then acted, you've got Matt Latner doing Anakin's voice mixed with James Earl Jones doing the voice.
Right.
And it goes back and forth between the 2 of them. His eye turns blue and it's Matt Latner's voice.
That's so good.
His eyes turn yellow and it's James Earl Jones. And it's this mix of the 2 of them together. Yeah. And just, I've got pictured on here the look of shock on her face whenever she realizes that, oh my God, it is Anakin. And all the weight of that relationship and those years of thinking that her master was dead. Her older brother was dead. And here he is, the biggest ghoul in all of Star Wars, there to kill her. And she tries to reach out to him and he rejects her and starts attacking again. it, to me, hands down, the most emotionally wrecking duel in all of Star Wars.
And the chat is agreeing with you, or some people in the chat are agreeing with you too, and thanking you for bringing up
I concur.
the Ahsoka and
Yeah.
Vader. Yeah, no,
That's why it got an honorable mention, because and then Vader's entrance into that whole scene.
yeah.
Probably the coolest walk up pimp move on top of a TIE fighter.
Riding the TIE fighter is so good.
I almost threw that in there just because it was a cool image. You know, I probably should have put it in the background.
It really was. That was a phenomenal fight.
Nice.
Yeah.
And awesome.
And then my honorable mention is Kylo Ren and Rey versus the Praetorian Guard, because it is a honorable mention because it is not a duel,
But it's awesome.
it is awesome.
Just a cool ass brawl. And I know it's got mistakes in it. I know there's a disappearing weapon and it dropped it. Exactly. You know, it's just friggin' cool.
It was
the way she throws the legacy. She throws Excalibur to him, and he takes out that one Praetorian Guard in the end, right in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
This is the closest that we're going to get to
But that was just
Royal Guards fighting, right? I mean, they took place of the Royal Guards,
Absolutely.
you know, and I know this was a whole different era and all that stuff, but it's just like our childhood imagination of the Royal Guards fighting like this. I think.
Oh my God.
really did it.
That's what I want in Andor now. I want an assassination attempt on Palpatine and the Royal Guards getting involved. And we're seeing some madness go on.
Dude.
well, you know that could happen
That's
easily.
what I want.
100%, dude.
I want robed guards. Every time we see them, they're awesome, right? Even if they get just punked by Yoda, Royal Guards are awesome.
Very cool. I like that.
Mike in the chat says Ahsoka versus Maul was epic though, and he missed the beginning of this when we said Darth Maul was taken off the board at the beginning of this, so we could not choose.
He would have swept it.
It would have been a different list, honestly, if we kept them all in the play. Because
it would have.
Like
who would have had Duel of the Fates on it in top 3?
Oh yeah, I would have had Duel of the Fates in top 3. Yeah,
easy.
Yeah. That's why we eliminated Maul.
And I'm pretty sure the Sidious fight
especially
too.
the second. Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
I would have had Sidious
and the
Savage and yeah,
and the 8-second fight is about one of the best duels ever.
Exactly.
It's just
again emotional. You put the emotion into it.
He had every bit. He had lengthy fights. He had duel fights. But he always lost.
Mm-hmm.
Always lost.
And the way he lost in that one with the same move he beat Qui-Gon with, he tried it again and he got
No,
I love it.
So good.
He was glorious in defeat.
This was a lot of fun.
Cut in half and killed. Jacked up. That dude took more beating in fights and is still praised for his fighting skills more than any other.
You're right. You know,
any other character.
It's so funny, Chris. Like now thinking about it, I'm like, okay, is he either the worst saber duelist or I told him as the best, but I was like, you're right. When did he prove he was the best?
Right.
He was the first Sith to kill a Jedi in 1,000 years.
Very true.
Good for him.
And
that's about it.
Top-notch Jedi, right there.
And Vader went and killed how many?
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, oh, forget it. Our Dooku killed how many? It's like, forget it. Maul is old news. It was awesome to watch.
That's true. But
awesome to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Who knew that Maul grew to get brains, right? Like you thought he was just like the assassin puppet.
Puppet.
Well, that almost makes sense why he goes and gets a gang, right? And he starts taking over criminal organizations. He's like, look, dude, I keep getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
This is not worth it. I'm sore. Let's go.
You guys, this really good, but I can't hit nobody.
You guys do I just can't finish. I don't know what it is. They block.
That's funny.
So.
All right, cool. Well, that was fun. You know, that was a little something put together. We've been talking about that for a long time, right? Like the saber duels and along with the top movies and stuff, because that's always something that comes up. And it's funny how a lot of people have different, ideas of what each duel means in the grand scheme of things. Like, right, Scott had that counter argument of what is the most important. I think that was something that came out today. That was cool. I like that. I like that kind of talk because that's what we take from Star Wars. We take that home and we have this whole idea again.
And I like to hit the animation. Chris likes to hit the books.
Yeah.
Star Wars is so much more than the 9 saga movies that we've all seen 1,000 times. Star Wars is so much bigger than that. And that's what I really try to drive home with our show, is that people need to get out there and experience Star Wars.
Yes. I'm all about like the movies bring so much emotion to it, but that Vader Ahsoka I should have really put that higher up, because that is I'm always trying to, I guess, recapture some of that stuff in the comics and the books and in the cartoons, right? And very few times it does. Sometimes it's just for flash, right? It's just, oh, that was awesome, it was amazing, but did it really have an impact on the story? You know what I mean? Like even the Ahsoka Maul, it didn't have impact on the story. It was just an amazing fight, but in the grand scheme, it was just an amazing fight.
Beautiful cinematography.
Yeah, but Ahsoka Vader is such a pivotal Star Wars moment that it should be a lot higher up on my list. I'll agree with that. And so I'm always trying to recapture those moments, right? And every once in a while, the expanded canon does that, you know. So
it does.
Awesome job, guys. Everybody in the chat for participating. That was awesome, and getting all your guys' suggestions and duels and stuff like that. We'll continue to doing something like that in the future. That was a lot of fun. So I think we're ready to call it a night. That was our time slot. So
dead on an hour. Sweet.
Yeah. So with that, I think we are done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for our Patreons and everybody that is even considering joining our Patreon too. The link is in the description below too. So feel free, and we can get more awesome animations that you saw today. Hopefully they go a little bit smoother as we go on. I think I did a pretty good job.
I think you did a great job, and I think the next thing we need to do is get you a new microphone. What did you do to that thing?
Oh, it's you don't want to know. You know?
I don't want to know.
Nope.
Not on air.
Oh, maybe you do want to know. I don't know.
Yeah, not on air.
But yeah, not on
That's
air.
for the OnlyFans. We're gonna, whenever we open up the Sarlacc Digest OnlyFans, you get to find out what happened to Moocher's microphone.
Yeah, nice. All right, cool.
Yikes.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Dark Dad, where can we find you?
On all the socials.
Yes.
And that's it. Yeah, Twitter at the Sarlacc Digest Professional Podcast, since we got paid now to do it. So that's pretty fun. Now, Sarlacc Digest on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the group page on the Sarlacc Digest Central, and the website that Scott created at the Sarlacc Digest. You can find him there.
Right.
I don't look at there much. So that's about it. Just find me there, and Hot Topic Podcast for the DMs. That's about it, dude. You know where to find me. You're here.
Awesome. Scott Solo, before we did to find you.
Shut up. Move on.
Brandon in our chat had a question about Thrawn that he wants to get out. What was that question?
Oh, I asked him, I have a Thrawn. He says, I have a Thrawn question next time if you guys are open for questions.
Let's do it.
I say ask it now, man.
Do it now.
Fast, yeah.
He's there. Is he there still?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's there.
I don't know what the question was, but where can we find you? And we'll get to that question.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Sometimes just look for The Art of Scott Solo. You can find me there, or you can just look me up, Scott Kruger. I'm everywhere.
He's around.
I'm around.
Shopping.
Toy shopping. Always toy shopping. I think my wife wishes I would do a little less toy shopping.
Heck no. Your life would be boring. You don't want
right.
You don't want his life to be boring, do you?
No.
She can't hear me, right? Okay, cool.
No, I got the headphones.
All right, cool. Yeah, Julie. Awesome. No, that's good. Bootleg Joe.
Wait,
right.
Before Sarlacc Patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast. All of our funds actually go into building the show and making the show better. We're not lining Chris's pockets with all that sweet Patreon money.
No.
Not at all.
That comes with other stuff.
That just paid for the name Professional to get changed on all the socials. That's all.
That's it.
Exactly. Yeah, cool. And of course, the link is in the description too. So click on that over, and then we'll get you on the show, as I mentioned, and we have other perks in there, so go check that out. Bootleg Joe, where can we find you?
You can find me here at the Sarlacc Digest, on Instagram at bootlegjoe_760, and occasionally on the Sarlacc group page on Facebook.
Awesome.
Dropping a meme here and there.
Dropping a meme. Awesome. And we're still waiting for Brandon to ask that Thrawn question because I know Chris is like, where's that
I
Thrawn
know.
question?
I'm going to be waiting all week for it now. Yay. Okay. Well, I got something to look forward to for next week instead of just talking to you jackasses. Let's go.
I'm still giving some time because I want to plug, of course, Ernie again. He's in Batu East, and he'll be back next week, hopefully, to kick it off with us again. So Toy Migos, find him on there. Go check out that, the RLU. Fanboy Mike is on here sometimes whenever he feels like it, or whenever he feels like not working, he comes on here.
Right.
So.
The dude's got to pay the bills.
Okay. Might have to start changing his name to Force Ghost Mike.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that same thing.
Force Ghost.
Okay, so Brandon asks, here it is. Basically, if Thrawn took Anakin's invite to join Republic when he was invited him, second book, what was that?
In the second book.
In Alliances.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think would have happened had Thrawn taken Anakin's invitation and joined the Republic? I remember this question now, Brandon.
He would have seen him. He would have seen Palpatine.
That's exactly what I said. He would have seen it coming. Do you think, though, do you think he would have stuck with the Empire, or do you think he would have, because he's kind of a noble person, do you think he would have stuck with the Empire, or do you think he would have seen the treachery coming and teamed up with the Jedi and the
I think he would have helped the Jedi turn it. I think he would have helped the Jedi in the military. And by that point, by the time it would have happened, if he'd have gone with him, oh, man, no, they met in the Clone Wars.
He met in the Clone Wars, but
let me just try to think. Let me think it through a quick second here, because I was thinking pre-Clone Wars, pre-fighting. No, he would come in. It was still, the Clone Wars was still a couple of years. He would earn his respect, be able to see it. I think he would be a pretty high-ranking officer fast.
We've had this discussion before, like.
No, not this one really. I think if he would have joined, he could have seen it and went to the Jedi. That's my gut. I don't know how it would have happened. Yeah, but I think my gut was he would have figured out something being in Palpatine's room, his office. He would have recognized it as Sith artifacts on the walls.
Yes. I don't think he would have survived it. I think that whenever the clones turned, I don't think he would have survived the.
You think he would have been part of the chip?
Like I think he would have been part of the. Yeah. I think he would have been executed.
Yeah, maybe that's a good what if story. We have to
because he would honorable.
Yeah, because they would have tried to turn Thrawn and he wouldn't have. But you know what? That's the other piece. No, you know what? It's not like Palpatine had to go turn people. They just became his employees, right? Like he didn't have to turn anybody. So having Thrawn maybe just.
But Thrawn was in it for the chiss. So Thrawn was with the Republic to try, and he would have been with the Republic to try and get that backup to save the chiss.
And they would have.
All of a sudden, the Republic turns and starts killing the people he thought would be helping him defend the chiss.
So it depends on when it happens, right? Because if you're asking at Order 66, would he fight with the Jedi to save them or go with the Empire? He'd go with the Empire because the Jedi are losing at this point. They're getting wiped out. If he could have helped prevent it, if he got it, like, say, 6 months prior and saw that Palpatine could have turned and he was the Sith Lord, he got in the office and was like, oh, man, what are you guys doing? Do you not see this? Do you not see that he's surrounded by Sith artifacts, Mace? Yoda, I'm sure you were there when it was drawn. Blah, blah, blah. None of them saw it. He would have figured it out. He would have been observant enough to see it. He would have watched how all the thing is going. He wouldn't have seen the political side that Palpatine was doing.
Because he's terrible at politics.
Oh, man. But see, that's the problem, too, because he wouldn't have seen the politics happen. Yeah. It would have had to have been the art hanging on the wall. I still think he'd have figured it out.
Good question,
though. Good question. It's a great question, because now I think we might have to discuss this again at a later time, because
we'll bring it back
there's a lot of thought that needs to go into that one. That's a whole other show.
That should be a good
time to write
topic,
some fan fiction.
Like a good hot topic, a good Thrawn breakdown. You did it before, but
I've done Thrawn breakdowns. We've never done a what if.
Yeah, exploring some of the, like I said, we've mentioned it on here, like, would he join? And you're like, he's all about himself and his preservation. So yes, he would, but maybe under the wrong circumstances he would. So we'll have to explore.
It's hard because he figured out who Vader was and Anakin, right? He knew that whole bit. By the time he got to the Emperor, there was I don't think he was shocked to know what the Emperor was.
No.
Oh, I don't think so either.
It was still
at all
more mightier to stay on the Emperor's side than it was to join.
But I mean, he never showed any shock in any kind of canon.
But he would never join a rebellion versus the power at B. Like,
I don't know, because I mean, he always backs up the people under him and the people that he works with, and he would be working hand in hand with the Jedi. He would be able to see that they weren't really the manipulative people that Palpatine was making them look.
Well, unless you saw the downfall of the Jedi, like I'm not foreseeing their actual downfall, but like they're flawed and they're going to.
He's honorable to a point where it's helpful to him. Right. If the Jedi are getting wiped out, it's not. Again, it matters of time. It's timing for him. It's strategy. Remember, people aren't people to Thrawn. People are resources.
So why should it?
Right. So at this point, like I said, pre-Order 66, I think he would try to keep on the Jedi side.
Right.
Pre-Order 66. Post 66, when they're all getting wiped out, going into hiding, he's Empire through and through. At that point, he knows who the strongest are. He stays with the strongest one. He's not dumb. Cool. He's not a good guy. Let's not forget. Right. Thrawn isn't a good guy.
He's self-preservation.
Yeah, he's for his people. We're seeing him as a hero because to his people, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what it is. And even to the Empire, he becomes legendary, but they didn't win with him either.
We're also reading these books from the vantage point of the bad guys.
Yeah.
As good guys.
So it hurts us like doing that. He is a villain. And even as much as I love him, he's the bad guy.
Absolutely.
He's just a honorable, badass bad guy. He's on that side. No, it just depends on timing.
Cool.
He would never join the rebellion, to your point. It wasn't big enough, strong enough. He'd be Empire post, Jedi pre. 66.
Awesome. Well, hey, you know what?
Stamp it.
Get more questions in like that. That's fun. It makes for good line talk. It really does. Because we are waiting in line. So
thanks, Brandon.
All right, guys. With that, everybody join us on socials. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Thank you, everybody who has been doing that and getting our numbers up. We really appreciate it. So with that, we are out.
Keep it nerdy, guys.